Chapter 2, an immersive startup case study. What is government contracting? Are you good at preventing cyber attacks, fixing cars, managing projects, maintaining IT systems, repairing tanks, catering events, budgeting and accounting, installing navigational systems, landscaping, programming, laying brick, typing, providing engineering services, or nearly any other skill known to mankind? If so, then you have the potential to achieve your financial dreams by selling your services or products to the federal government. Whatever you imagine, there is a 99% chance that the federal government is buying it in sufficient quantities to make you a very wealthy person. So what is a contractor? A contractor is a person who is simply on a contract supporting the federal government. The key to true financial success in this industry is to own the contract that provides the services or products at a negotiated price with the federal government. Or, more accurately, one must own the company that owns the contract with the government. That's the thesis of this entrepreneurial example. Most people don't realize the U.S. federal government, possessing trillion-dollar budgets, is the world's largest customer. There is no close second. With a small business set-aside program goal to earmark a minimum of 23% of its procurement dollars exclusively for small businesses, this is one of the easiest markets for those hoping to launch a new company or rapidly grow an existing one. To make it even better, the Congressional Research Service, published in March 2021, states that the average number of bids per federal contract solicitation decreased by 30% from 2010 to 2019. In other words, federal government contract spending is growing while the competition pursuing contracts is diminishing. In fact, every year there are billions of dollars earmarked for small business set-aside contracts that are left on the table. This is how the small business set-aside program works. Each specific government agency and organization monitors their own small business utilization goals. These goals are achieved in a couple of different ways. One way is to direct prime contract awards to small businesses. A prime contract is a contract that is directly between a company and the government. In this case, only small businesses may respond to a request for proposal, or RFP. Even if you can't do all the work listed in the RFP, you can still bid and win. A small business has the option of partnering with other companies, both big and small, if they do not possess all the requisite capabilities to perform the entire requirement. Small business bidders are only required to perform a minimum of 50% of the work. The other way the government ensures that small businesses get their fair share of work is through mandatory small business subcontracts for massive government contracts awarded to large businesses. A subcontract is an agreement between the prime contractor who led the proposal effort and was awarded the government contract and an industry partner. Prime contractors issue subcontracts to industry partners for several reasons. These include 1. Providing capabilities and qualifications required in the RFP that the prime contractor does not possess. 2. Obtaining customer insights to improve the competitiveness of their proposal. And 3. Meeting RFP required small business subcontracting goals as applicable. For this final reason, small business subcontracting plans are submitted as part of a bidder's proposal and evaluated during award determination. To receive a high score in this section of a large bidder's proposal, approximately a third of the requirement is subcontracted to small businesses. Hidden within this market is also the holy grail of wealth accumulation: passive income. After a substantial effort to win and transition a contract, you are rewarded with an extended revenue stream, often one requiring minimal oversight. Although non-trivial, transitioning and executing a contract aren't nearly as hard as you might believe. Here's why. Most government contracts are 3 to 5 years in length. However, that's not the full story. Once you've won a contract, bidding on its contract renewal or recompete is tremendously easier since you have total knowledge of your customers' hot buttons. This is one of the reasons why incumbent contractors have a 70% follow-on award rate. A 5-year contract really has an expected value duration of 8.5 years, requiring a significantly reduced effort to win the recompete. That's nearly a decade of income for writing a winning proposal. It could be even longer if the contract is recompeted a second, third, or fourth time. In addition to largely passive income streams, business owners are creating equity in their business. Every time your business wins a contract, gains a new customer, achieves a new credential, or simply stays alive for another year, it accumulates value. Investors and other companies in the federal government contracting industry are constantly seeking new investments and ways to make current investments more profitable. This frequently entails mergers and acquisitions. In other words, you may be presented with an opportunity to have a very significant liquidity event by selling your company. Finally, my favorite aspect of the federal government contracting industry is that it allows you to play pin the tail on the donkey. Federal government procurement professionals don't get to buy whatever they wish. When Congress approves the budget, they mandate how and even when, by fiscal year, the budget will be spent. This budget is published for all to see, providing zero ambiguity regarding when and what the government will be buying. Even better, before the government buys these products and services, they release a request for proposal that fully and precisely defines what they're going to buy. Your proposal must simply come closest to the target that they have defined. It's like playing pin the tail on the donkey, where you pin your tail or proposal solution closest to the donkey's rear end. Since there are literally tens of thousands of RFPs in various stages of release at any given time, you simply pick the closest donkey to you and your qualifications. Why is playing pin the tail on the donkey so great? In other industries and markets, startup founders must guess at what customers are willing to buy, and customers are rarely reliable sources of information. Don't believe me? Just consider the following scenario. According to a recent study, over 2/3 of Americans are overweight. As an entrepreneur, you may see the obvious need for healthy fast food options. Moreover, you receive an overwhelming response indicating the desire for healthy fast food options on various surveys that you commission. Being a bright entrepreneur, you fill this market void by launching a new healthy restaurant called Salad Savvy. As you have your grand opening, you start to mentally count the millions of dollars that's going to be spent by overweight Americans seeking healthier fast food options. Then your heart breaks. Little by little, you see overweight Americans walk past Salad Savvy to buy burgers and fries during their lunch break. Takes you a while to truly believe that your target market is not willing to buy what they desperately need, healthy lunch foods. Finally, you relaunch your restaurant as Big Boy Burritos, serving the biggest burritos in town to avoid bankruptcy. Customers and markets are fickle, and they frequently lie. In many markets, entrepreneurship is a guessing game, and most entrepreneurs guess wrong. There is no guessing when you play pin the tail on the donkey. You know exactly what the donkey needs and where to stick it. You also know when the game is going to be played. And this donkey has very deep pockets and is very generous when it comes to its tail.